What's going on, everybody? This your boy Sylvester, aka Sly.
And the one and only man, Perry Brown, aka Mr. Ambitious.
Hey guys, welcome again to episode 7 of the Purposeful Journey podcast, man. We got a good one for you today, man. But first and foremost, before I go any further, man, Perry, man, you representing NBA season coming up, man, with the Lakers gear on, man. Come on, your favorite team now.
The one and only man, Los Angeles Lakers, man. Long live Kobe.
Hey, rest in peace, Kobe, Mamba mentality. Shoot. Hey man, look, today I definitely want to talk about accountability when it comes to friendships, man, because I saw something on Facebook recently and I want to read it as well. It said a lot of people don't have friends, they have enablers, people who are yes men and will say and do anything to stay on that person's good side, even if it's at the expense of their own integrity. Friends can correct you when you're out of order, but an enabler will watch you fall to your own demise while cheering you on. Pay attention because not everyone cheering for you and supporting you actually wants you to win. I shared that on Facebook and I was just like, oh my God, dude, that is the truth. I swear, because you have so many people here who don't want to be held accountable. They want people to enable, like, if it's like any kind of wrongdoing and stuff, you ought to have a friend, that you can count on that can keep you on the straight and narrow to a degree, hold you accountable and vice versa. But some people will some people will say that accountability as is an attack, and it's not really an attack. It's just saying, oh, maybe you shouldn't be doing this, or I don't think you should be doing this, I'm just looking out for you. But people will think it's, oh, you're coming at me this any kind of way, you're saying that you don't love me, and if I didn't love you, I would just let you do whatever. But I love you enough to tell you that I just don't want to see this happening, or I think you should do this or go a different way about it. But that's just how I do in my friendships and stuff. And you know very well, Perry, that's how we do.
Absolutely. Like, true friends hold each other accountable. True
Mm-hmm.
friends, true relationships are going to be on your back. They're going to be on your neck because they want to see you do great. You
Yep.
know, put this into a whole perspective of my circle has to be on the same vibes and the same energy that I'm on. If I'm gonna hold you accountable, I expect you to hold me accountable. That's just how friendship work. That's how relationships work. If I'm doing something that's not of pleasing to you or pleasing to our friendship or to our relationship, I would want you to communicate that with me. And part of accountability is effective communication. You need to talk to me about what is it that you don't like for me to do, or what that you don't like to see in me that you would want me to change. Because at the end of the day, if we're gonna have a bond, then we have to be able to, give each other that, constructive criticism, give each other that feedback. It's not like you say, it's not as an attack, it's not a personal attack, it's literally to help you, not hurt you. And some people do take constructive criticism and accountability as a personal attack. No, the only attack is within yourself, because that means now you know that you're doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing, and now you're being addressed with it. Now you feel like it's an attack when in actuality you know it's the truth, but you in denial or you're deflecting. So accountability goes a long way, man, when it comes down to friendships and relationships. It's just a matter of both parties, you know, aligning with each other to understand, like, hey, I really appreciate you helping me, and I know that you are only helping me. That's why you on my ass so much, not so as you trying to point fingers and pick at me and try to poke the bear type of vibes.
Right. Like, and that's what I'm saying, because, and you got some people out here who, when they'll say, oh, I'm just giving you constructive criticism, in some people's cases, some people like to be destructive with it, which doesn't help anything at all. But in a lot of cases, when it comes to constructive criticism, it's literally constructive. They see nothing but greatness in you. They see good things in you. They just want you to tweak some things, or they want to help you at least get to a point where it's like, okay, let's do this. Let's try this out. And it's not that we don't love you. It's just that I think that maybe you should try a different way. Maybe you should do this. I just care about you a lot to say this. Now, you got a lot of people, and I've done this in the past, and I'm guilty of this, who are just complete utter yes men, who will say yes to anything and anybody just to try to keep people happy, even if it is at the expense of their own happiness and their own integrity. And it's like that's got to stop, because people pleasing is not going to do anything but drain you. It's not going to do anything but deteriorate you from the inside out, because while you're trying to keep everybody happy, yourself, you're going to be unhappy, because let's be honest, not everybody's going to be happy. You try to keep other people happy, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to do what you can to make yourself happy, or to focus on what you got to do and just do you. At the end of the day, somebody's going to be unhappy. So either way, somebody's going to be unhappy. So I would rather you focus on what you got to do and do what's best for you and do what God tells you to do, or whatever the case may be, than to please other people who really ain't got your best interests at heart, and they just want you to, they just be like, oh, you're supposed to be my friend, so you're supposed to be on my side. Da, 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 da. Look, I'm on your friend all day, but if I'm telling you that you're wrong about something, you're wrong about it. Plain and simple. I tell you that in love, but you're wrong. If you're wrong about how you handle a certain situation, I'm gonna tell you, I don't think you should have handled it that way. There could have been a better way to approach it, but I'm just telling you that because I care about you. But some people will just take it and they'll just think, oh, you're coming at me. Oh, we're not this, we're not cool, we're not friends, I can't trust you or whatever. And it's just like, oh dang, okay, that's how you feel. And it is what it is.
Oh yeah, man. It's some people that really don't like to hear when they wrong. It's some people that really take constructive criticism as, oh man, you just picking at me,
Uh-huh.
or you jealous of me, you envious of me. I'm like, bro, if I was jealous of you, I would never been your friend in the beginning.
Exactly.
Like straight like that. I like, if I was jealous of you, you wouldn't even be in my life. I like, it's a reason why you're in my life. It's a reason why God put you and I together to be a friend, be a brotherhood, be a couple, or whatever the case may be. Is because He see that both of us had like patterns, you know what I'm saying? We've
Mm-hmm.
been through so much that we can help each other out in time of need. So if it's something that you're lacking in and I got the experience and the expertise to help you, then I'm gonna help you.
Yep.
But you do have those that really don't want the help. And it's sad to say, but it's unfortunately true. Like, if the one little thing that you call out, they automatically think that you're nitpicking. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
big difference between nitpicking and helping someone out for their greater good. So I say that to say, man, it just go back to our previous episode, bro. You have to really choose your circle wisely. Cause your true friends, they will want you. Matter of fact, it will be damn near a requirement for you to correct them or help correct them when they doing wrong. If they sit there and don't want you to correct them when you know and they know that they're wrong, then you might want to reevaluate your friendship. You might want to reevaluate your circle, because what's going to happen is, instead of being a construction, it's going to be a destruction.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to build your friendship up, right, wrong, left, right, not destroy your friendship. Man, that's just what it is. Talk to him
Man.
some more, Sly.
Boy, you done said something. It's a requirement, and a lot of people don't get that. It should be a requirement for you to, if I'm doing something wrong that I know I'm not supposed to be doing, tell me, correct me in a loving way, correct me, tell me, okay, I'm doing this wrong, or I'm not supposed to be doing this, or I shouldn't be doing this. Tell me at least, because I would want to tell you the same thing, and I want you to give me that same courtesy. I don't want you to enable me in any bad habits that I may encounter or anything like that. I want you to help me. Let's help each other out, because a friendship, a relationship should be a two-way street. Because I should be able to help you and you should be able to help me. If you want help, I'll do what I can to help you, and vice versa. But if you don't want any help, I don't know what to tell you, except I'm gonna pray for you. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I can't do anything more than what you want me to do, because I'm not Superman. I ain't God. But what I can tell you is, whatever I can do to help you, I'll do it to the best of my ability. But if you're the kind of person who just doesn't want any kind of help, you're thinking, oh, I'm fine, I don't need nobody, I don't need this, I'll be like, all right, then, all right, you say that now. But when it gets down and out, and then you're looking around, and besides God, who will be there for you all the time, who is going to be there for you? Because you isolated yourself from everybody, because You thinking that when people are coming at you, you think that they're being disrespectful or anything. In some ways, they're really trying to look out for you and just giving you just constructive criticism. And like I said earlier, you have some people who will be destructive with their stuff, but that's a whole nother story, being destructive with how they approach people. But some people, they just don't really get it.
They don't get it. They really and truly don't. And what's going to happen is it's just going to tarnish. Not only is it going to tarnish your current friendships, but it's also going to tarnish future friendships because God is going to send another person who is just like the person that you're dealing with right now.
Mm-hmm.
Might 10 times it because of the fact that, okay, so maybe you didn't listen to this person. Hopefully, I send this new person around who going to give you the same sauce that the previous person gave you. Maybe something to click just like that. And if it doesn't click, then we got a problem. That means you need to look in the mirror and reevaluate yourself because if you lost your friendship because you didn't want to listen to the truth, then you're the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You the problem. So you have a problem with accountability. You have a problem with accepting truth and
Mm-hmm.
accepting, gems. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna do to fix that? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna have people around you who gonna tell you the truth, whether if it's gonna be sugar coated or unsugar coated. Honestly, I like the unsugar coated version because now you're gonna give me that gut punch for me to really realize, okay, I gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's another issue. Let's talk about that. People got to learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You're going to have those uncomfortable conversations. You're going to have uncomfortable situations. But at the end of the day, uncomfortability is only going to give you comfort to grow.
Come on now. Come on, man. You done said something right there. Look, I'm telling you, some people don't get it because look, I don't want you to tell me what I want to hear. I need you to tell me what I need to hear. And I've had moments where it's like, I don't need to hear that. I want to hear this. I've had my moments where I've said that. And all of us have had those moments. But I'm learning, like, I'd rather you tell me what I need to hear, or at least tell me again if I need to hear it again, than for you to tell me what I want to hear. Because people a lot of times will be like, I don't need to hear this. I want to hear this. I want to hear you say this and that. I can say that all day, but what you need to hear is the truth. What you need to hear is this and that. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hit you in the gut. Like you said, it's gonna punch you in the gut, but it's gonna be for your good. Because at the end of the day, what I'm telling you or what you're being told is the truth. And I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I would rather I'd rather take the unsugarcoated version myself as well. Because I don't need you beating around the bush. I don't need you trying to walk on eggshells or anything like that. Tell me what it is. Tell me like it is. Just tell me straight up. If you can't tell me straight up without trying to beat around the bush, that's some things to talk about. And another thing, we got to look in the mirror. A lot of people are
Mm-hmm.
too afraid to look in the mirror and say, oh, maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to change this. Maybe I need to change my habits because they're quick to blame other people, but they don't want to look in the mirror and say, oh, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I need to do this. They're too afraid to because they look in the mirror, they think, oh, they got it all figured out or they think they're perfect or whatever. Nah, you look in that mirror. I'm telling you right now, it's the furthest thing from perfect. You got some things you got to work on. I got some things I got to work on. We all got things we got to work on. But you have to admit that to yourself. Check yourself in the mirror and also check your circle of friends. Because if you ain't got the right crop of friends to be around, man, you ain't gonna grow or bloom. You just gonna turn into dust. You gonna turn into dirt. You ain't gonna grow or nothing.
Talk to him. Talk to him. Exactly. Like, it starts with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it don't matter who you're around. It starts with you.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, your energy is going to attract other people. So if you already come in with a negative energy, guess what you're going to attract? Negative. So if you're going to with no accountability, guess who you're going to attract? More people with no accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And now you in a whole circle of what the hells instead of a whole circle of, hey, let's build and let's grow. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it starts with you. You are the foundation of how your life is going to go. You are the foundation of practicing accountability or practicing, accepting constructive criticism.
Mhm.
Like, once again, it's going to be uncomfortable,
Yep.
but you have to have it done. That's the only way you're going to elevate. You
Mm-hmm.
have to live through the uncomfortable situations to elevate yourself. And like you said, man, you want to check your circle of friends, because if they not going to be willing to give you those uncomfortable situations to and uncomfortable conversations to make sure that you are growing, then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you might want to check your friends. You might want to reevaluate your friendship, because one thing about it, two things for sure, and three things for certain, none of my friends want to see me down.
Yep.
None of my friends gonna want to see me down. And guess what? If they see me down, they gonna hold me accountable to bounce my ass back up. Pardon the French,
Mm-hmm.
but they gonna bounce me back up, and I'm gonna have to bounce myself up, because now I feel their energy, and their energy lifting me up. So now I got to lift myself up.
Come on now. Like that's the thing, lifting each other up instead of tearing each other down nowadays, what you see more often than not. We got to lift each other up because at the end of the day, it's not it, it's not fair. You know, it's not cool because we all to want to be able to lift each other up, to lift your friends up, your family, whoever it is, even if it's a stranger that may need some sort of uplifting, lifting that person up because you never know what people go through nowadays. So your circle of friends has to be some people that you can trust, people that you can count on, that you guys can hold each other accountable and stay on top of each other, especially when it comes to like working on your goals, your dreams, whatever it is, your purpose in life, whatever purpose that it may be. You got to be held accountable. You know, even held accountable for your actions that may not be of God, your actions that are not pleasing to God. You know, you will be held accountable. Just like God will hold you accountable of your actions and your words, your friends will have to hold you accountable, just like you have to hold yourself accountable. If you can't hold yourself accountable, how are you going to expect your friends to hold you accountable if you can't hold yourself accountable, or vice versa? I mean, it is what it is, you know.
Right. It is what it is on that. And just it's I'm passionate about this topic, man. That's why I'm on fire with it right now, because I even went through recent situations about this.
Yeah.
Like people just don't want to hold themselves accountable. And like you said,
Mm-mm.
it starts with you. Self accountability is the foundation of how everything else is gonna play out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Self criticism. Criticize yourself. You ain't gotta necessarily have other people giving you constructive criticism. If you know that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, give yourself that self criticism. Punch yourself in the gun, in the gut. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Punch yourself in the gut. Give yourself that reality check.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you see that you can give yourself a reality check, everything else is gonna fall into place. Once you
Mm-hmm.
see yourself holding yourself accountable, everything else is gonna fall into place. You won't need another person. You won't need third party validations for your screw ups. When you know that you screwing up yourself, you should be the primary validation to realize that.
That third party validation. Let me tell you something about it. Look, a lot of people look for the external validation from people and stuff. And I'm just like, look, I look for validation from the man above, and I look for it from myself. Because look, while it's good to have those people be like, oh, you're this and that, you're great and all this stuff, great, well and fine. But that's not gonna, at the end of the day, that's not gonna overall validate me like how God's gonna validate me or how I'm gonna validate myself. Because I need to be able to tell myself, okay, I need to change my habits. I need to change my ways. I need to do more of this. I need to do less of this. I need to be able to do this, to tell myself that. And if I can tell myself that, I'm like, okay, cool. I can get the ball rolling as long as I stay on top of it. You know, and that comes in part with just staying on top of it, you know. And we all can get lazy sometimes. We all get lazy from time to time, and that just happens, but not getting to a point where it's constant laziness. You got to stay on top of it. You know, if you can't stay on top of it, then what are you doing? You're wasting your time if you're not going to stay on top of it, you know. So accountability is never an attack. It is a way for us to look out for the betterment of other people. If you take it as an attack, maybe you got to look in the mirror and see what you're doing wrong instead of trying to turn it around on other people. It's never an attack. But if you take it personal, that's not on me. That's on you. And I was telling a friend of mine this recently as well. Because they was telling me that like for a prime example, you know, they wanted to go out. Their friend wanted to go out, but they didn't want to go out at the time or whatever. And I was telling them, and I was like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen that you tell them that you just don't feel like going out or whatever? But He was like, oh, I don't want to make them mad or I don't want to piss them off or anything. I'm like, first off, bump how they feel about it. If you don't feel like doing that, you don't feel like if you want to stay in, you want to stay in. It's not your job to make them feel happy or anything like that. That's not your job. It's not your job and how they react when you're being honest. If you can't be honest with your friend, then that's a problem. If you feel the need that it's your responsibility and how they feel based on you being honest, you got to look at yourself as well because you got to stop policing people. You got to stop worrying about how other people are going to react to you being honest and telling the truth. You control the fact that you tell the truth. That's what you're in control of. What you're not in control of is how other people react to it. Bump how they got to feel about it. You're being honest, you're being truthful. Point blank, period. That's the end of that discussion. If they don't like it, that's on them. Don't don't feel bad for the fact that they didn't want to hear the truth. That ain't on you. That's on them. You did your part at the end of the day by telling the truth instead of lying and sugarcoating and just saying everything and enabling just to make them happy. Stop doing that. Just stop. Godly.
And I'm glad that you said something about that because the truth ain't supposed to feel good.
Nope.
The truth supposed to be necessary. The truth don't ever supposed to feel good, but it's supposed to always be necessary.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, what's gonna make you feel good is knowing that you grew from the truth. You grew from the truth. It don't matter about your feelings at this point. It don't
Yep.
matter about the fact that I told you the hard truth and you feeling some type of way. Good.
Yeah.
I want you to feel some type of way.
Yeah.
That's you know what I'm saying, and just to reciprocate that. Yeah, I mentioned the fact that the truth don't feel good to me when somebody giving me that hard truth. But guess what? I feel good about it at the end of the day because I absorbed the knowledge and the information that was given to me.
Mhm.
So now I know how to move moving forward, and now I know how to hold myself accountable moving forward. You know, so my friends, like you said about your friend, man, my friends don't told me hard truth too many times to a point I was cussing them out in the beginning because I
Yeah.
was just that mad. But
Yeah.
then I had to look back in the mirror and be like, oh, the only person I need to be mad at is myself because all they did
Hmm.
was just told me the truth.
Yep.
And now I look back at it months later, years later, everything that they said to me in the beginning that I didn't take into consideration, oh, it all was true. And I had
Hmm.
to go back and apologize to them for that.
Yep. See and
I
see,
had to
see
go
right
back to
there.
apologize.
Yep. See, and that's the thing right there. When we react at the moment, and it happens, we just instantly react, and it's normal. We've all done that. But for you to do that, to go back and apologize after that, not a lot of people will do that. Not a lot of people will do that. They will not go back and apologize for how they reacted because all that person was doing was telling them the truth. And that's the
Right.
thing. They'll be like, they won't even they'll brush it off like nothing happened and be like, nah, man. I was just looking out for you. I was just telling you what it is. You came at me like this. So, like, come on now. Like, well, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I demand an apology in this. The least you can do is just come on your own and apologize for how you reacted, because I was just trying to help you out. I was just trying to tell you the truth. I was just being honest, and I love you too much to lie to you or to not even tell you the truth. But some people won't do that. So I commend you, man, for that because not a lot of people will do that at all. They will just leave it as is, brush it off or whatever. And then it's just like, okay, now it's like, okay, I get what they're saying now. But at least let them know it's like, okay, I get where you're coming from. And I want to apologize for how I reacted. It wasn't right of me. I was just in the moment angry or however they want to apologize. Just do that. It's not that hard, but some people's pride and ego gets in the way, and that is their dang problem. I'm just like, get your pride out of this. Get your ego out of this. This is not about pride and ego. We're just looking out for you at the end of the day. And that's what it's all about when it comes to accountability. If I can't look out for you by being honest with you or holding you accountable in what you do or how you act or what you say, then is this really a friendship? This is more of an enabler. This is more of an
Mm,
enablement to the point where I'm just here to enable everything you do. I want to be like, oh, you do whatever. I'm enabling your habits, even though, in my opinion, I feel like, oh, maybe you shouldn't be doing this because I see so much in you. I want to help you, at least while it's not my job to direct you. I want to help you at least. But like you said earlier, some people just don't want to be helped, and sometimes you got to wipe your hands clean with it. I can love you from afar, but I'm just wiping my hands clean because there's only so much I can do. If you don't want the help and you don't want to help yourself, all I can do is pray for you and pray that God give you a change of heart at the end of the day, that you see it in yourself.
Exactly, man. Like, and I had to come to that reality too. You know what I'm saying? I had to come to realize that not everyone wants your help.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
you can
true.
be giving them all the sauce and all the gems necessary for them to understand and to at least try to move accordingly, with changing their ways or things like that. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's up to them if they want to change their way. It's that old saying, man, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Come on.
So you done your due diligence by giving them the sauce. It's up to them to take your sauce and make their own recipe, make their own ingredients out of it. You know what I'm saying? If they
Yeah.
if they want to still have that bland, they want to have that bland mentality, they want to have that bland accountability, then that's on them. But if they
Mm-hmm.
really want the secret sauce to, make that recipe of their life sound good and be good and they eating good, then they'll take heed to it. Because at the end of the day, then they can promote your sauce to someone else who might be struggling. So now everybody eating. Everybody eating that good ingredients. Everybody eating the good recipe of your sauce. All because you the one that gave them the sauce and now they giving somebody else the sauce. So accountability is a necessity. Like you said, it's
Mm-hmm.
not an attack, it's a necessity. And part of that word is ability.
Mm.
Ability to make changes, ability to want to grow, ability to be able to share the good blessings to someone else who may be struggling because you struggle. So now you passing on the blessing. So everybody's just receiving a blessing. So take accountability and split that word to ability. Everybody is able to be accountable. Everybody is able to move on and move forward and grow.
Man, I swear you sound like a preacher the way you broke it down. I'm like, I'm about to say, come on, Pastor. Come on, Pastor. Break it down for the people in the audience. Break it down for the congregation. This the truth. It's the truth. Like you got to break it down for them. Like is the if you have the ability to do that, that you're capable of doing that, then okay, cool. We'll be good. We'll be all straight. But you have to develop that ability to do that. And if I can't help, you got to do it within yourself because at the end of the day, like you said earlier, Perry, it all starts with you. It starts with you at the end of the day. How are you operating? How are you acting? How are you moving? Because people are watching you, whether you believe it or not. People are watching you. They're watching how you move, how you operate, how you act every day. And while you don't shouldn't care what people think, and that's the truth, you shouldn't. But people are watching how you operate and stuff. So instead of taking accountability as an attack, take it as a chance to, okay, maybe I need to change my ways. Maybe I need to redirect. Maybe I need to do it differently. Maybe I need to just reshift my focus or whatever the case may be, whatever accountability looks like to you in order to help better you. And that's what it's there for, to help better you. It's necessity to make you better, to grow you, to make sure that you become a better version of yourself. Because every level that we elevate to requires a different version of ourselves. And you know the old saying, elevation will require separation. So anytime you elevate, it's going to require a different you at the end of the day. You won't be the same person that you were last year, last week, last month, yesterday, an hour ago, whatever. You won't be the same person because you're going to be a different version of yourself every single time you elevate. And in that elevation, there will be more accountability that is required because, to whom much is given, much is required. So you got to understand that accountability is a huge part of it. So that these people got to understand, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that goes for all levels. That goes for friendships. That goes for relationships. That goes for engagement. That goes for
Mm-hmm.
marriages. Marriages definitely you need to have accountability because that's your life partner.
Come on.
So you gotta have accountability on all aspects when you're married.
Yes.
Because if you don't hold your spouse accountable, then your marriage is about to go downhill. And that's
Mm.
just on the strength.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what your wife or your husband do, you as they significant other, when y'all say I do and put them rings on them fingers, and the Lord brought y'all together, and the pastor said, "Now announce or pronounce y'all husband and wife." Now y'all joint accountable. Y'all joint accountability partners. So y'all really got to be tit for tat when it comes to being together and holding each other accountable. Go ahead, Ray. I know you
Exactly.
want to say something about that one.
Look, I'm gonna just end it on that. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? You come as one. You join a union. You're as one now, which means, like you said, y'all got to make sure y'all stay on each other, stay on top of each other. Like, make sure y'all make decisions or whatever. Come together. Make sure y'all doing it right because there's a lot of marriages that fail because of communication and lack of accountability. And that's the problem. And of course, finances and stuff is also a big factor, but communication and accountability, where is it? There's a lack of it nowadays in marriages, in friendships, relationships among friends, family, whatever. You need to have more accountability. And the more accountability that you have, the more you'll see more growth in yourself, in your friendships, in your relationship with God. You'll see more of that. As long as you develop more accountability and understand that it is never an attack, it is a necessity that is there to help you grow as a person. It is there to help you develop to just elevate at every single level because new levels, new devils, but also new deliverance at the same time. So with that being said,
Mm,
I'm gonna end it on that.
mic drop. Mic drop.
And I'm gonna end it
Yes,
on
sir.
that.
Yes, sir. New levels, new devils. Yes, sir. New deliverance. Oh, yes, sir. You said a word right there. That's a proverb right there. That is a whole proverb.
Proverbs.
Man, that hit me.
Hey, look, it hit me too when I had to. I had to learn that myself. I was like, you know what? It's the truth though. It's gonna be some new devils that come in with these new levels, but you know what? It's going to be temporary because I'm going to be able to get delivered from it, and I'm going to get past
Mhm.
it as long as I hold myself accountable to a certain standard. Now, God, he has a certain purpose on my life. He has a certain purpose for all of us, whatever that is. In order for us to reach that purpose, there's a certain level of accountability that's required. So, and just like any job, with any new title, new promotion that we get, there's a certain level of accountability that's required with it. So we got to be able to take that constructive criticism, apply it, and move forward so we can grow. And that's just the end. That's just how it is, man. We want to be able to grow. We want to be able to grow and just go so we can flourish. That's just what it is. If you want to grow and flourish and just go and just be able to just move forward, you gotta hold yourself accountable, hold your friends accountable, check your circle, check yourself in the mirror, and it's gonna work out at the end of the day.
That's it. That's the message.
That's
That's
it,
the
man.
message.
Look, I'm telling y'all, look, we ain't telling y'all this because we're just telling y'all this. We've been through it. We know we've been through this ourselves, so we understand what it's like to have that lack of accountability. We understand what it's like to react that way and feel like it's an attack when really it's just someone just looking out for our betterment, for our best interests at heart. Because not a lot of people have your best interests at heart, but the people who do, you better hold on tight to them because you let them
Yes.
go, boy,
Yes.
it's a wrap.
Yes.
It's a wrap
Yes.
after that, man. It is a total and utter wrap after that, man. Shoot, I'm just gonna end it on that because, oh man, I'm tell you something. I needed this topic because I've been thinking about this all week, and I've been seeing posts about this stuff, and I was like, you know what, we gotta talk about this. We got to talk about this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
shoot, any lasting words, the final words, man.
And my final word is if you don't have accountability, find accountability. Find you someone or find people that you can relate to who will be able to help hold you accountable, who will be able to at least give you the sauce of accountability if you never
Hmm.
had accountability in your life. I
Yep.
promise you, once you get around those people and they start holding you accountable, and then sooner or later you'll start building, and it'll just be a natural thing to hold yourself accountable. I promise you, man, life is gonna be a whole shift. It's gonna be a whole shift.
Come
I'm
on.
telling you, when I mean shift, you gonna grow, and you gonna realize that you're growing because now you're moving differently. Now you understanding what it's like to mess up and bouncing back from your mess up, man. You and that's all I'm gonna say.
Hey man, hey look, I'm gonna echo that right there, man. Find you an accountability partner. You know, you have some friends that you know you can count on to hold you accountable. Ask them to be your accountability partner. Honestly, making it a requirement, in my opinion. Honestly, make it a requirement because in that friendship, y'all ought to be able to hold each other accountable. Be honest with each other. You know, out of love and stuff. Just be honest with each other. Get yourself an accountability partner. It'll definitely do you so many wonders because I have numerous ones of them, including my partner right here, P Brown, ambitious P Brown. This guy's my
Sure.
he's been my accountability partner since day one. And see, shoot, we go way back, shoot.
Yes,
So
sir.
and I appreciate that, man, and that's all we need, man. That's all we need. So, with that being said, I appreciate everybody for listening. Now we appreciate it, man. This was such a well needed topic for myself as well as everybody who may be listening to this, man. Y'all stay tuned for the next one, man. We'll be definitely doing more episodes. We'll be doing more deep topics and stuff, and soon enough, we'll have some guests on here to come. We'll just chop it up and just do it big, man. So. With that being said, man, once again, this is Sylvester, aka your boy Sly.
This is Perry Brown, man, aka Mr. Ambitious, man.
Hey, man, and we love you guys. We're here for you. We appreciate you guys. And we hope that you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Y'all take it easy, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Blessings.